If you're watching this video, then you're wanting to learn how to use Squarespace, which is exactly what we're going to walk you through step by step today. We're huge fans of Squarespace here. We talk about it a lot and why it's so great. So I won't bore you with all of that here. If you're trying to decide what website platform to use, check out our channel, check out all of our videos, our comparisons, our blog. We talk about Squarespace a lot. We talk about other platforms a lot. But if you are set on Squarespace and you're here and you're ready to learn exactly how to use it from scratch, this is the perfect video. Let's just dive right in.
Okay, let's go ahead and start at the very beginning. Head to squarespace.com, and then once you're here, click on Get Started in the top right-hand corner. You'll then be prompted to pick one of Squarespace's free website templates as a starting point. You can search a specific topic here to find related templates, or you can just click I'm browsing in the top right-hand corner, and it will take you directly to all of the available templates. The great thing about Squarespace 7.1 is that every website has the exact same functionality. So choosing a template to get started with is really just an aesthetic choice. Every template ultimately is totally customizable and has access to all of the same built-in editing features, so you can really change things up regardless of which template you choose to start with. The main thing to keep in mind while browsing is which template would work best for your specific content, which template would you have to do the least amount of work to, and which template do you just prefer visually. One thing to keep in mind is that once you pick a template and start making changes, you won't be able to simply switch your changes over to a new template if you decide that you don't like the look of things. You can always try to customize things to fit a different template's aesthetic, but sometimes that might get a little bit complicated. So if you did want to use another pre-designed template, you would have to just start from scratch on a new Squarespace website, and you'd have to manually move all of your content, things like images, text, etc., over to the new template site. And if these templates just aren't doing it for you, or maybe it feels a little bit stressful to have to make a choice, you can always start with a premium Squarespace template professionally built by a third-party website designer. There are a ton of Squarespace template shops out there these days, including ours, that have beautiful custom-built templates for every possible industry and style. Templates like these are as close as you can get to custom for a fraction of the price. So if you're interested in anything like that, you can check out some of our premium Squarespace templates, which will be linked in the description below. As you're browsing through Squarespace's templates, if you find one that you like the look of, you can go ahead and just click on it to view some more information. Over here on the left-hand side, you can scroll through a smaller window of the website to see what the homepage looks like. Over here on the right, you can also sample what it might look like in different color presets, which is a really cool feature. And you can also click View Demo Site down here at the bottom to open the website up in a new window, so that you can scroll through just like you would any other live website to see what everything looks like. You can click through to the different pages and have access to all of its different features. If you're happy with this template, go ahead and click on Start with this design. Squarespace will then prompt you to either create a new Squarespace account or up here in the top right corner, log into your existing account. And once you've done so, your brand new trial site will automatically open up. Squarespace will start by giving you a few prompts to get things started, which you can navigate through by clicking Next, or you can just close this window out altogether. Any new website that you start on Squarespace comes automatically with a 14-day free trial, which allows you to test things out and play around with the site without having to pay for a subscription. You can also create as many free trial sites as you'd like, so if you aren't loving a design and you want to try something else, or just experiment around with a couple of different templates, you totally can. Every new site that you start will have its own unique free trial. And then once you're ready to publish your site, or when your free trial expires, whichever comes first, you'll need to purchase a Squarespace subscription to set your site live and keep it active. If you don't upgrade to a paid plan, any content or design changes that you've made during the trial will be marked for deletion, and you definitely don't want that. Now let's chat a little bit about your main Squarespace account dashboard. Since Squarespace automatically opens up your brand new website for you, you'll need to get back into your account dashboard to take a look at those settings. And to do that, you can click on the little icon down here in the bottom left that has your name and your email. And this is what your account dashboard should look like, except you might only have the one website. Up here in the top left, you'll be able to toggle between any websites and domains that you've purchased through Squarespace. And below that, you'll see all of the websites that are associated with your Squarespace account, whether that be any websites that you've started yourself or websites that you've been added to as a contributor. And you can click on any website in the list to access its editor. You'll also be able to see some other information about the website right here, like the site title, the domain for that website, and when the website trial expires or when the subscription is going to renew. If you click on the 3 dots to the right of your website, you'll be able to do a few other things like access some various settings, duplicate the website if you want to create a backup copy of it, or delete it altogether. Now let's go ahead and head back into this new website to take a look at the main sidebar menu. This sidebar is the main control panel to access all of the various settings for your site, and there are a ton of settings, so let's walk through some of the main ones. First up, under Website, you have Pages, and this is where you'll be able to navigate, add, remove, and reorder all of your website's pages. Styles is where you can access and edit your website's styles, aka your fonts, colors, buttons, forms, and all those good things. And these can also be accessed via the paintbrush icon over here in the top right-hand corner of your site. Assets is going to take you to your asset library, where all of the images that you've uploaded to your site are stored. You'll be able to add images in bulk here, as well as rename images and keep them organized in folders. The Selling tab contains settings and data related to your Squarespace shop if you've decided to set one up. This includes things like orders, inventory, discounts, and other various selling tools. Under Invoicing, you'll be able to invoice customers directly from your Squarespace website, as well as send proposals, contracts, estimates, and access other project management tools. Content and Memberships is where you'll be able to manage any courses, member sites, or monetized blog content that you set up. This includes tracking revenue, managing pricing plans, and your payments. Under the Donations tab, you can go ahead and set up different donations to collect through your site. And then the Scheduling tab will take you into Acuity, which will allow you to manage your calendar, your clients, and all of your appointments. Under Marketing, you'll find settings for email campaigns, promo pop-ups, and your announcement bars. And Contacts is the section that will contain information about any leads that come through your site, whether it be subscribers via your Squarespace mailing list, leads via newsletter blocks on your site, or customers via Squarespace e-commerce. And then last, just like it sounds, Analytics will contain data about your website, including sales, engagement, and traffic. In addition to all of that, you can access your website's general settings by clicking on this cog icon in the bottom of the sidebar. This is going to open up a whole new window where you can update things like your site's availability, private, password protected, or public, your business information and languages, any extensions, permissions, domains, billing details, and social links. All can be done within this settings window. We really recommend going through all of these options in the settings window and adding in as much info as you can about your business as one of the first steps in the setup process. And a little tip here, Squarespace does often tend to make changes to where various settings are located. So if at any time you're not sure where to find a particular setting, you can hit the / key on your keyboard to pull up this search window, where you can go ahead and search any word and it will take you to where that is within the settings. The final thing to note for this sidebar is the help icon. If you click on this little question mark icon at the bottom of the sidebar, it will take you directly to Squarespace's Help Center and Tutorial Library. Squarespace truly has one of the most incredible help centers, so definitely if you get stuck with anything, pay this center a visit and you will have everything that you need. All right, next let's get into your website's Pages panel. To access your Pages panel, go to Website and then Pages over here in the sidebar. This will then pull up a list of all of your website pages divided into 2 main sections. First is Main Navigation, and any pages that are under this section will appear in your website's main menu. The Not Linked section contains all other pages of your website that you don't want to appear in your main menu. These are still active pages on your website, but you'll just need to link to them through buttons or text links throughout your site. You can reorder and move pages between the Main Navigation and Not Linked sections by clicking, dragging, and dropping wherever you'd like that page to go. You can add a new page to either of these sections by clicking on the plus icon to the right of the section name. In the pop-up window, go ahead and select which type of page you'd like to add. There are a ton to choose from a regular blank page to a templated layout, to a blog, a store, a portfolio, a course. There are a ton of different options to choose from, so go ahead and pick whatever is most appropriate for what you're adding. Each page that you have will have its own settings, which you can access by clicking on the cog icon next to the page name. In this settings pop-up window, you'll have the General tab, and here you can add and modify your page title and URL slug. You can enable or disable the page, set a password protection, duplicate the page, which is really great if you want to create page templates, or set the page as your home page. Under navigation, you can choose whether or not to show the header or the footer on this page. Under the SEO tab, you'll be able to add extra SEO information like a meta description and SEO title. Social image allows you to add a custom social image that will display if your page is shared anywhere online. And under advanced, you can add custom header code injections if you wish. Some pages might also have slightly different settings. For example, your blog page settings will also have a slider for how many blog posts you want to display per page and a place to manage your blog tags and categories. So take each page settings as they come and make sure that you look through all of the different tabs so that it's all set up exactly how it needs to be. If you scroll to the bottom of your Pages panel, you'll notice a section at the bottom called Utilities. Under the System Pages tab, you can manage your custom 404 page, your checkout page, and your lock screen. Under Website Tools, you can add custom CSS and code injections to your site, as well as activate an announcement bar, a promotional pop-up, or a mobile information bar if you need that. Under Trash, you'll see all of the pages that have recently been deleted, and those pages will be stored here for 30 days. You can also choose to restore a page or completely permanently empty your entire trash before that 30 days is up. And at the very, very bottom of this panel, you'll also be able to see which version of Squarespace your website is in. Now let's get into page design. Every single page on a Squarespace 7.1 website is made up of different sections. These essential building blocks are typically stacked on top of one another to create a full, cohesive page. To add a new section to a page on your website, first click Edit in the top left-hand corner to enter editing mode. You'll then want to look for the blue Add Section button. If there's no other content on the page, this button will just appear in the center of the page. If there's already other sections on the page, the button will appear at the top and the bottom of those existing sections. When you click the Add Section button, this window will pop up and you can choose to add a blank section to start from scratch with, or you can choose one of the pre-designed sections created by Squarespace. They really have so many different section designs to choose from. Once you've added your new section, hover over it to access the section settings up here in the top right-hand corner. The Edit Section option opens up an additional menu with settings to adjust the grid spacing of the section, the number of rows, the height and alignment, whether you'd like to add a divider, background image, and to select the color theme for that section. The duplicate icon allows you to duplicate a section, which is super handy to use as a backup while you're working on your site. The Save Section option is one of our favorites, and it allows you to save a section that you love to then use again on other pages of your website. This is super nice if you create a section template that you want the rest of your pages to follow. You can just save it and then add it to one of your other pages and then adjust the content. To access any sections that you've saved, go back to the Add Section button and then click on Saved Sections over here on the top left. And any sections that you've saved will show up right here. You can use these reorder arrows to move the sections up or down on the page, above or below your other existing sections. And remove will permanently delete the section from the page. It's important to note that deleted sections cannot be restored, so make sure to save or duplicate a section before deleting it if you think you might want to use it again later. One of the coolest parts about designing your website in Squarespace 7.1 is the Fluid Engine Grid Editor. So Squarespace Fluid Engine uses a grid system along which you can position your blocks to create different layouts in each section of your site. The grid makes it really easy to create interesting layouts, all while retaining even spacing. To view the grid on any section around your site, while you're in editing mode, press G on your keyboard. You can then click and drag blocks around the section and they will automatically snap into different positions along the grid, making for a super flexible editor and easy customization. The grid does automatically take on these default settings, but you can customize those for each section uniquely on the page. And you can do that by clicking into Edit Section. And then under this format, you'll find all of the grid styling options. Under row count, you can increase or decrease the number of rows in a section. More rows makes the section longer, less makes the section shorter. And a little tip, if I click out of this window and head back into the section, you can also increase and decrease the number of rows in a section by clicking and dragging this little blue arrow icon down here at the bottom. That comes in handy if you are actively editing the section and you don't want to have to click back into this editing window just to change the row count. Gap is going to refer to the gap between each unit of the grid. You can choose to have no gap by choosing this little icon right here. You can choose the default 11 by 11 gap, or click the three dots here to customize the gap both vertically and horizontally. Next up is fill screen, and if this is toggled on, you'll notice a padding above and below your section. You can adjust the height of the padding by choosing from small, medium, or large, or clicking on the three dots to customize the padding yourself. And you can also adjust the alignment of your section within that padding. If you toggle fill screen off, the grid will take up the entire section from top to bottom with no padding. The Fluid Engine grid might seem a little bit daunting at first if you've never worked with it before, but if you just come in here and start playing around with the settings, move blocks around the grid, you'll see just how easy it is to work with, and it allows for so much customization. Each section of your website is made up of various content blocks, such as images, text, and buttons. Each block can be individually dragged and positioned wherever you want it along the grid, and it has its own set of settings to help you customize it. You can always access the settings of a block by either clicking into it and choosing the little pencil edit icon, or double-clicking. To add a new block to your section, hover over it and then click on Add Block up here in the top left-hand corner. In the pop-up window, you can go ahead and scroll through and choose which type of block you'd like to add, and you can also use the search bar up here to search a specific block. And just a little tip here, as you're working on your website and making customizations, be sure to click save every once in a while so that you don't accidentally lose any changes that are made. One of our favorite things about the new Squarespace Fluid Engine editor is that you can customize the mobile version of your site almost entirely independently from the desktop version. To preview what the mobile version of your site is going to look like, click on the mobile icon up here in the top right-hand corner. You can then click on Edit to enter editing mode in mobile view. From here, you can go ahead and rearrange the blocks any way you'd like in mobile view, and it's not going to affect the desktop version. Keep in mind, though, that not everything is independent, so you can't delete blocks or change content like text or images, or reorder the sections of your site without it changing on both desktop and mobile. Customizing your mobile view is a really big step because we all know how much time people spend on their phone these days. So if you need some more help on making those customizations or just want a little refresher on what you can and cannot do, we have some really great guides and tutorials to walk you through all of that, which will be linked in the description below this video. Next, let's get into the really fun stuff, your site styles. So your site styles refer to the look of your website, aka the fonts and the colors that are used. You can customize these at any time by clicking the paintbrush icon up here in the top right-hand corner, or by heading to Website and Styles. Now, before we dig into these, it's really important to note that your site styles are site-wide, meaning that if you customize a particular setting here, it's going to apply everywhere on your website that particular setting or element is used. As you're customizing your site styles, it's a good idea to check out various pages of your website to make sure that everything is looking how you want, rather than just paying attention to one page and then not liking how things look somewhere else. The first thing in your site styles panel is this new Squarespace feature called Themes. This allows you to choose from a variety of preset combinations of fonts and colors, aka themes, according to various moods. You'll be able to choose from professional, playful, sophisticated, friendly, bold, quirky, and innovative. And all of these are going to give your website a really distinct vibe in literally just one click. This themes option is really great if you haven't quite decided on brand fonts or colors just yet, and you want to explore some options. And of course, nothing is ever set in stone because you'll always be able to customize these themes and the styles included in your template freely whenever you want. To further customize the fonts on your website, head to the Fonts tab. First, under this tab, you'll be able to view the dozens of preset font packs that Squarespace provides. All of these font packs have beautiful and professionally picked out font pairings. You can choose between sans serif pairings, or a mix of both. And you can click on any font pack to see what the fonts will look like on your website in real time. Another quick tip while you're making customizations to your site, if you choose an option and don't quite like how it looks but can't figure out where you started, all you have to do is click the little back arrow up here in the top left-hand corner. This will take you back to your previous steps until you're all the way back where you first started customizing. Back in the Fonts panel, you'll be able to further customize your website fonts within the headings, paragraphs, and buttons tabs. Within these tabs, you'll be able to choose an entirely different font from Squarespace's library of hundreds of fonts, and you'll also be able to customize the font size, weight, line height, and letter spacing. At the very bottom of your font panel is the Assign Styles tab. Under this tab, you'll be able to scroll through and select additional fonts for various elements around your site, including things like your site title, navigation links, announcement bar, blog, and portfolio elements. This is really great if you want to change the font style of one single element without it affecting your global styles like I previously talked about. To customize the colors of your website, back in your Site Styles panel, head to the Colors tab. First things first, click on Edit Palette to customize your main website color palette. Here, you'll be able to click through your palette and select a unique color for each color swatch, or you can scroll down to choose from one of the preset color palettes that Squarespace offers. Back in the Colors panel, below Edit Palette, you'll see Section Color Themes. And this is a series of 10 color themes ranging from lightest 1 to darkest 2. These are all automatically generated by Squarespace based on the colors that are in your main color palette. However, they are all totally customizable. You can click into any of the themes and then choose the little color swatch circle next to various elements to change the color. You can choose from your existing color palette, or under custom, you can choose a completely custom color from the color finder. And once you're happy with all of your site styles changes, you can close out that window, save, and exit out of editing mode. Okay, now that you have the design and style of your website down, let's talk about some of the additional features that you might want to add to your website. First up is a blog. To add a blog to your website, you'll want to navigate to your Pages panel by going to Website and then Pages. From here, click the plus icon either in your main navigation or your Not Linked section to add a new page. Under Collections, choose Blog. You'll then be prompted to choose a layout for your blog, but don't worry, this can always be customized later. And then you'll give your new blog a name. You'll then automatically be taken into this blog overview page, which is essentially a home page for your blog. And on this page, you'll find a summary of all of your blog posts. The rest of the page can be customized just like any other page on your website. To add a new post to your blog, go to Blog Content in the left-hand sidebar, and then click on the plus icon to add a new blog, and the new post will automatically open up into edit mode. If you're interested in learning more about adding a blog to your website and customizing your blog, we have a full guide and tutorial about starting a blog with Squarespace, which will be linked in the description below this video, so be sure to check that out. Next, let's go over adding a shop to your website. So in your Pages panel, again, click on the plus icon either in your main navigation or in your Not Linked section. And then under Collections, choose Store. In this pop-up window, choose Create a New Store. Choose from one of the 2 preset layouts that it gives you. Again, this can be customized. And then give your new store a name. Similar to the blog, your store will be given kind of a home page, which can be customized just like any other page on your website by clicking Edit. To add a new product to your store, click on the plus icon. You'll then be able to choose from a wide range of product types, from physical products or digital downloads, to services, to scheduling, to courses, and more. And just a note, you will need to have a business plan or higher with Squarespace to be able to access Squarespace's e-commerce features. And again, we have a full guide and tutorial that's super helpful in setting up your shop on Squarespace, and that will be linked in the description below this video if you want to check that out. Now, what if you want to add a portfolio? So a portfolio is similar to a blog, but with features more specifically designed to showcase a wide variety of content and imagery. Squarespace's portfolio collection pages are ideal for projects, galleries, and case studies. To add a portfolio to your website, again in your Pages panel, click on the plus sign to add a new page, and then under Collections, choose Portfolio. You'll again be prompted to choose a layout for your portfolio, and then give your new portfolio a name. You can edit your main portfolio page, navigate through your existing projects, and add a new portfolio project by clicking on the plus icon. And our ultimate guide to portfolio pages in Squarespace 7.1 will be linked in the description below. And last, but definitely not least, let's talk about courses. One of Squarespace's long-awaited features, Courses, allows you to host any type of course and sell it directly from your Squarespace site. There are a few different ways that you can add a new course to your website, but the easiest is to, again, through your Pages panel, click on the plus icon to add a new page, and then under the Collections tab, click on Courses. You can select a layout for your new course, and then again, give it a name. From here, you'll be able to customize your brand new course overview page, as well as add individual lessons and modules under course content. Once you've added in all of your course content, you'll want to add a pricing plan by clicking on Pricing Plan and then Create Pricing Plan. From here, you can set up how much your course will cost and whether it will be a fixed amount or a subscription. Once your course is complete, you can set up your sales page and start selling. We have a really comprehensive guide on hosting a course on Squarespace, and that will be linked in the description below this video if you're interested in learning more. Okay, you have put in all of the hard work to set up your website, design it, and add all of the features to make it perfect for your business. And now it is time to launch. Before setting your site live, however, it's important to make sure that everything is looking exactly as you want it to, and of course, working correctly. You can preview your website by clicking on this arrow in the top right-hand corner, and then scroll through to make sure that all of the links are working, buttons are working, and that everything looks exactly as it should. You'll also want to make sure that the mobile version of your site looks just as good. To exit out of this preview mode, click on that arrow again in the top right-hand corner, and then click on the mobile view icon to enter mobile view. And again, just scroll through to make sure that everything is working, looks okay, and that you're happy with the design. Next, you'll want to connect a domain to your website, which you can do by going to your site's settings, clicking on Domains and Email, and then clicking into where it says Domains. From here, you'll be able to purchase a new domain directly through Squarespace by clicking Get a Domain, or you can connect an existing one that you already own by clicking Use a Domain I Own. Domains can sometimes get a little confusing and complicated, so if you need a little bit more guidance here, we have a blog post all about connecting your domain to Squarespace, and that will be linked in the description below. Now, once that's done, you still need to pick a subscription plan before you can go fully live. Squarespace offers 4 different subscription plans, all with different features, so it's best to just choose one that aligns with your site's goals. We typically recommend the business plan unless you're planning on selling a lot, in which case one of the higher commerce plans might be better suited. Just look through all of the features and choose the one that feels right to you. And once that is done, you are now all ready for the big launch. And to do that, go to your settings cog. Under website, click site availability, and then go ahead and change your website status to public. This means that your Squarespace site is now live and ready to be shared with the world. Now, if you're just starting out and feeling a little bit overwhelmed, you're definitely not alone, which is why we created a free training walking you through all of the key steps that you need to take to DIY your website seamlessly. From figuring out who your ideal client is and how to wow them with a design that's right on brand, to planning and writing effective website copy, this training will give you all of the base skills you need in order to kickstart your website building journey. If that seems like something you need to be a part of, click the link in the description below this video to sign up. And there you have it. That is our full beginner's guide to Squarespace. We hope this post was helpful to point you in the right direction and help you get started on your website. And if you'd like more Squarespace tips and tutorials from us, make sure to check out our blog and the rest of our YouTube channel. We post new content every single week, and we can't wait to not only see you in the next video, but to also see your beautiful website dreams become a reality.